All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about one of the most frustrating feelings imaginable. That feeling when you have these huge goals, you know exactly what you want, but for some reason, you just can't seem to start. Does this sound like you? You know where you want to go. You've got the big project, the new skill, the life change all mapped out in your head. But every single day, you're stuck in park. It's this crazy paradox, right? And it can make you feel like something's wrong with you.
So first things first, your ambition is not the problem here. The fact that you have big goals, that you want more for yourself, that's a good thing. That's your strength. So let's just get that straight right now.
And this is the most important part. The issue isn't some deep character flaw called laziness. Honestly, that word is a trap. It's just a label, and it doesn't give you any way out. So we're going to take that label, and we are going to throw it away for good. Let's reframe this whole thing. The word lazy suggests you're incapable or you don't really want it, but that's not true, is it? Stuck. Now that feels a lot more accurate. Being stuck means you're trapped in your own head, overthinking everything. It means you're trying to avoid the discomfort of starting, and it means you just don't have a system, a reliable way to just get the engine running. You're not lazy, you're just stuck. So what is this feeling of being stuck, really? We call it procrastination, but let's be really clear about what that is. It is not a moral failing. It's just a predictable, even biological response. Your brain is literally hardwired to steer you away from anything that feels hard or uncomfortable. And here's why that happens. Your brain will always choose the immediate reward of, say, scrolling on your phone over the delayed payoff of working on that big project. Why? Because that big, important task triggers a tiny stress response, and your brain's main job is to keep you safe from stress. The longer you put it off, the bigger and scarier it gets, creating this vicious cycle. So, this is the core truth. This isn't about a lack of willpower. It's about a lack of a specific skill. You just haven't learned how to start. And the good news is, like any skill, it can absolutely be learned. So, how do we actually fix this? We're going to walk through a simple system, an action-first framework. It's designed to do just one thing: build that reliable starting mechanism you've been missing. This isn't about finding some magical motivation. It's about building a system for action. Here's the game plan. First, we're going to get real about what's at stake if you do nothing. Then, we'll build some specific triggers to get you moving. After that, we'll figure out what you're really afraid of. And finally, we're going to start treating discipline like something you can actually build, not something you're just born with. Before we can build anything new, we have to be brutally honest. The cost of inaction is huge. It's not just about the goal you don't hit. It's about the lost time you can never get back and that quiet, nagging regret that builds up over the years. Really feeling that's the fuel for change. You know, all that overthinking is almost always just a cover for fear. So take a second and ask yourself, what am I really avoiding here? Is it the fear that I might fail, or the fear that I'm not good enough? Or is it just the pure discomfort of doing something hard? Just naming that fear, it starts to take its power away. A lot of us think discipline is this magical thing you either have or you don't. That's a total myth. Think of discipline like a muscle. It gets stronger with every single rep. Every time you start when you don't feel like it, that's like doing a bicep curl for your discipline. It's built through small, consistent actions. Okay, this next idea might be the single most powerful part of this whole framework. You have to stop telling yourself who you are. Every time you say, "I'm so lazy," it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We need to replace that story with a new identity, one that's based on action, not feelings. So try this one on. I am someone who shows up. It's so simple, but it changes everything. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about being super productive. It's just about showing up. So when that moment comes, do I act or do I avoid? This identity makes the choice simple. What does someone who shows up do? Well, they show up. They start. All right, let's get practical. Theory is great, but it's useless without action. So here are a couple of incredibly simple rules you can start using today, right now, to break that cycle of inaction. This first one is called the 2-minute rule. And it's so powerful because it's almost impossible to say no to. Here's how it works. If any part of your task can be started in less than 2 minutes, just do it right now. That could be putting on your running shoes, opening the document, sending that one email. See, the goal isn't to finish the task. The goal is just to start. Because starting is always the hardest part. Once you get going, momentum takes over. You'll be surprised how often 2 minutes turns into 20. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to a choice. There is no comfort in greatness. You have to choose your discomfort. You can either choose the purposeful discomfort of doing the work, that feeling of effort and focus, or you can choose the discomfort of regret, that dull, constant ache of knowing you could have, but you didn't. Which one do you want? And if you take absolutely nothing else away from this, please remember this one thing. We think we need to feel motivated or have a perfect plan before we act. That is completely backward. You don't think your way into a new behavior. You act your way into a new way of thinking. Action is what clears the fog. Action creates clarity.
So let's make this real, right now. Forget the 5-year plan for a second. What is the smallest possible step, the one tiny 2-minute action you can take on your biggest goal? What's the one thing you can do in the next 120 seconds to prove to yourself, and only yourself, that you are someone who shows up? Figure that out and go do it now.